Hi, this is Kathy Goodman, and today we've got 7 website strategies to get more clients in the turbulent 20 teens. 20 teens are the period we're in now, 2013, 14, and 15, and on for the rest of the decade. What's different in this era? Well, it's like the adolescent phase of the internet, the teen years. We have a shorter attention span. We think in seconds and not minutes or hours. We want instant gratification. When we come to a website, we want to see what we want. We want to grab it immediately. And it's a challenge to stand out and fit in at the same time. We want to be different. We want to be unique. We want to have people say, yes, I recognize that person. But we don't want people to say, that person is different. And we know what that means when they say it like that. So introducing me, Kathy Goodwin. I primarily work in the area of strategic copywriting. What that means is I work in the area of copywriting within a strategy and identify your strategy and sometimes working with you so that your strategy is transformed, tweaked, modified as a result of the copywriting. And I work primarily with professional services. I've been online a while. My current website is kathygoodwinmarketing.com. I invite you to go there and learn more about me. But back to the 7 website strategies for the turbulent teens. Briefly, WordPress with an bodacious blog, new homepage, about page, images, video, a new way of copywriting, and social media. First, WordPress and a bodacious blog. Well, your website could be your blog, and your blog could be your website. You would use the same URL for the site and the blog. You would make consistent updates. Consistency is as important as frequency. The minimum recommended, I started to say required. That's not right. Minimum recommended is once a week. Some people post 2 or 3 or 4 times a week. And some people have audiences who say, hey, 5, 6, 7 times a week, too much. The idea is to have a consistent update pattern and consistent topics so your brand gets recognized. And finally, I recommend the WordPress.org platform for several reasons. One is it's easy to get help. A lot of people know that, and you can get assistance fairly inexpensively, fast, and competently, more than with other platforms. And WordPress has built in some traffic attractors that are extremely powerful. The new homepage. Okay, this is one version, and you've probably seen different versions of this. It's not totally new, but it's still around and still current. You notice we have a video front and center, 30 to 90 seconds. We have on the right, we have sign up box so you can have visitors to your page join your opt-in list. Absolutely critical on every page. You notice we have a catchy title, 5 ways to solve the number 1 problem of your audience. We have the place for people to put their name and email. One trend is people a lot of times today are skipping the name. They're just saying, let's ask for email, because we're not going to bother saying Dear X. Everyone knows how it works these days. We have an image of you or your freebie. If you're giving away an ebook, you would have a cover if you want to, or you might have a picture of yourself, depending on your audience and you. You might have extra images here. There are several ways to use this to your maximum advantage, and you have places you direct your audience, your 3 major areas where you want them to go. Usually it's something like specials, products, and coaching or consulting, but it can vary. And of course, there are ways you can change it. Your homepage doesn't have to even be a page. It can be a sticky blog post. That means it's something that sticks to the front of your blog. It can be a squeeze page, something where people come to your site and they say, yes, I'm going to sign up for this. And they have to sign up before they do anything else. Obviously, if you're going to do this, you need ways for them to escape if they're frequent visitors. And finally, you can have a sign up box in the header. This is something new that we're starting to see, where you have a big header that covers the main points of your homepage, and then you jump right into your blog. Your About page is no longer the tombstone classified. One way to do it is to have 3 images, and usually we work with 3, 5, or 7 magic numbers. And each image is accompanied by a paragraph. Your image doesn't have to be on the left, it can be on the right. You can have different headings, and you can have a few sentences, or you can have a whole paragraph under each heading associated with the image. The image ideally will be pictures of you. We'll talk more about images shortly. Your About page can also be a series of Q&A, as if you're being interviewed, where the key there is to pick questions that will be really important and not trivial to your audience, or just images with a few lines of copy that tell your story. Video is becoming a cornerstone of almost every website. it's recommended to have, and I recommend using video at least two places: your homepage, where you introduce yourself in your 30 to 90-second intro, and your services page, because I've had another video on services specifically, and on the services page, people come there because they're actually thinking about hiring you, and it's nice to have a friendly, supportive video, again, 30 to 90 seconds to reinforce your message at the moment of truth. Images are becoming everywhere. We're a very visual society now. You can use your own photos. A lot of times we have a good camera, or even many cell phones these days take really good pictures. You can get them touched up to look professional. Graphics from quality collections are very popular, but it's recommended that you use them carefully. I recommend avoiding stock photos of people because they look like nobody that anyone recognizes, and they end up being lookalikes. People see the same pictures over and over, and they kind of see them as cookie cutter, which is not the image you want. So I recommend, if you're going to use graphics from a stock collection, even a quality collection, to modify or have someone create graphics for you. Play around with Photoshop, or use Fiverr.com to create graphics for as little as $5 a piece. Copy is now shorter with more spacing around the words. We want to make it even easier than before to read and skim. I was working with a client recently who was horrified when the copy we were writing was short, because the last time I wrote his website, and we were doing a makeover now, we had much more copy, and he said, well, isn't it faster? Isn't it easier for you? And the answer, of course, is no. It's copy is even more important than ever before, so every word has to count. So it actually can be more time consuming, it requires a lot more training, a lot more skill and experience to write shorter copy compared to longer copy, because you cannot afford to waste a single word. You need to send a clear, original message. People are getting around, and they will know if you're using the same message everyone else is. You know, things like "take your business to the next level" will not really sound like something you've created. Includes images and video scripts. When I work with clients on their copy, on their sales letters, and on their websites, we actually talk about images, what images to use, what kind to use, where to place them, and how they will support the message and not conflict with it. And also, more and more, I'm working with clients to write, edit, and critique video scripts, because video is copy. Writing a video is fun, and it's easy a lot of the time, but the wrong video script can backfire and actually conflict with your message. Social media integrates with your website and blog, not just logistically, but in terms of message. You are now seen as a three-dimensional person, because people see you not just on your website, but in your Facebook and Twitter, LinkedIn, and other pages. And this use of social media as a participant applies to almost all professional categories. A lot of times we used to say that, well, accountants, you didn't need to bother, and lawyers certainly never did, but now some of these professionals are getting clients via social media. People are looking for someone, and they try to find out about them, and they find them in social media, in LinkedIn groups and Facebook and Twitter. You certainly don't need all these social media. You might want to pick 2 or 3 to start, but almost every professional can benefit from some inclusion of social media. So is your website ready for the 20 teens? If you'll go to my website, KathyGoodwin.com, KathyGoodwinMarketing.com, and KathyGoodwin.com, you will see my website is still in a state of fluctuation itself, and I am working right now, I'm using a sticky blog post and as simple a website as possible. I have found that simple websites work, and I am getting business from my website from all over the world. I've also come up with a basic website product that you can get, where we simply look at the most important pages of your website and get it up quickly and easily. And these websites are deceptively basic and simple because they work. They bring in clients, for my own clients, and they will bring in business when you set them up with the 20 teens in mind. So are you ready for the turbulence of the current website marketing era? Give me a call, and I hope to see you on a future video, and perhaps we'll be talking about bringing your website into the turbulent 20 teens. Thanks for joining me today.